according to rumors, the S26 Edge might end up getting cancelled. And honestly, that's the least shocking news I've ever heard from a smartphone brand about what their product might be, if it is true. Now, the S25 Edge, as thin as it was, as nice as it was to hold, the practicality just wasn't there. The battery life, the camera stuff, it just wasn't there for the price tag. Now, if it was priced really cheap or something, like the base model or something like that, sure, people would have been okay with it. Still, a lot of people wouldn't want to buy that phone, but some people would be. But considering the price of the phone, yeah, it's not really worth it for most people. And I get that why Samsung would want to cancel the S26 Edge. It doesn't really seem like there's a much point to make that phone, unless they put in the silicon carbon or silicon carbide battery tech, whatever it's called, in the phone that would give it as good as battery life as the Ultra or something. It's not gonna work. Battery life is a big thing, and people are spending a lot of money on this phone. And the compromises are just too much. Just the aesthetic of it isn't enough to appeal to enough people to buy this phone. And even the S25 Edge, I'm hearing it's not selling as well as Samsung would have hoped. And these are the reasons. And honestly, the only brand that could probably get away with something like this is Apple, with their really slim iPhone. Even though I don't think that's gonna sell that well either. I don't know the numbers for that, but still, the Apple branding and all that, they could probably get away with it the way it is. But Samsung, they just cannot do it. So canceling the Edge probably would be the best thing for Samsung, and for them to pour their resources into making something else. Even though I guess they could just reuse everything from the S25 Edge and just change the processor, as long as it's not too complicated. But still, I guess that's probably not a worthwhile update. I guess they'll probably have to change a lot of the other stuff too. If the new S26 series has some serious hardware improvements, they're gonna have to bring that to the S26 Edge as well. The Ultras have the hardware improvement, so I guess they'll have to work a lot on the phone, and that seems like a pain for a phone that most people aren't gonna want. And yeah, now, does a thin phone like this have a future at some point? Well, it it could. It's not a priority for everyone, but if the weight's low, the battery life is great, and it's not compromised in terms of camera, a thin phone could be a great thing. And honestly, I think a thin phone would be better in a smaller size, because at a bigger size, even though the phone is thin, you feel like you look at it and you feel like you're holding a substantially big phone because it's a big screen. But if it's a 6.1 or 6.3 inch screen, like if they use the S26, the regular S25's body, and make it that slim and give it a good battery life like the regular S25, honestly, that could be really aesthetically pleasing. But I don't think the battery tech is all the way there yet. A lot of brands aren't really focused on using that new battery tech, and I'm hearing some stuff about the longevity of the battery tech, and that's why brands are hesitant. Maybe that is the case. I don't know anything about that. So yeah, the S26 being cancelled is probably the least shocking news I've ever heard. Now, for the rest of the S26 series, well, we heard about the S26 Pro coming, so I'm guessing that will have to come, considering how good the iPhone 17 is now. They need the S26, regular S26, to be a full-fledged mini flagship without any compromises to compete with the iPhone 17. Otherwise, they just cannot do it. The iPhone 17 is gonna destroy it. And the S25 Plus, I'm guessing that that phone will probably be coming back too. I mean, with the Edge, if the Edge is not there, I guess they could just put in a Plus to between the gap of the S26 Pro and the Ultra. Well, I guess the S25 Plus will have to be a Pro type of phone too. that would be interesting. What the difference would be between the S26 Plus, that might be a Pro versus the Ultra. But yeah, overall, Samsung, the next year's launches as of right now don't seem that incredible to me. Maybe they'll bring something out that's awesome. Maybe some new camera tech that'll change the game. But as of right now, it feels like another upgrade, a minor upgrade type of situation. But yeah, let's wait and see what happens. And I guess the S26 Edge might not be there, which is probably not a bad thing. So